Look up here. There we go.
It's a big day at Salem Avenue Elementary.
1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
A day that will be remembered, maybe even framed.
I know you got a better smile than that. There it is.
Today is Picture Day.
There we go. Beautiful smile.
One by one, all 750 students. And in each one,
Morning.
this man
Hey, buddy.
sees potential.
I just like him the best out of all principals.
We expect all kids to be able to do well, period.
In his 15 years at this Hagerstown school, Principal Thomas Garner has learned to set his expectations high and his threshold for excuses low.
As a principal, my job can't be to let the outside forces control what happens within our building.
Forces that make this the poorest school in Maryland. According to federal data, 100% of the students, every single one at Salem Avenue, lives in poverty. You have to be aware of it, but what do you think about it?
We're completely aware of it. It's our environment. My job is to show empathy, to be empathetic from where you're coming from, but my job is also to push you up.
Hagerstown, a blue-collar town of some 40,000 people, has a higher poverty rate than Baltimore City. Its small-town charm now overshadowed by a major public health crisis. The city sits at the intersection of Interstate 70 and 81, known as Heroin Highway.
We're dealing with kids that sometimes are seeing a lot of trauma at home, and sometimes they're doing things that they are actually helping bringing their parents back. Maybe in the middle of the night that they're delivering Narcan, they're bringing their own parent back. There you go.
As principal, Garner has seen the impact on his school. In a few years, it went from 64% poverty to now 100%. Every student here receives free breakfast and lunch, often their only meals of the day.
You can't walk in someone's shoes until you kind of walked in their shoes.
So he did. 6 years ago, Garner noticed students were struggling and parents were not getting involved. So the day before school started, he passed out T-shirts and maps to his staff. They spread out, visiting every student's home to meet their families and see how they live. They called it the Blitz.
A lot of them don't have anything. I mean, I have had kids with no electricity, with no running water, and you know, that's common.
5 times 5 is 25.
Tyler Newcomer, a math teacher at Salem, was on that first Blitz, and every year since.
It's tough. I mean, it's difficult to know that, you know, this is what our kids go home to. For a large majority of our kids, this school is the best thing they have.
Newcomer says seeing where his students come from made him a better teacher. He doesn't give homework because he's seen what's at home. But knowing his students have little,
What's 30 times 5?
does not mean he expects less.
We have very high expectations, and you know, it starts with expecting our kids and teaching them that they can do it.
Salem Avenue is a Title I school, meaning it gets extra federal funding to help low-income students. Maryland has about 400. At Salem, any extra money goes towards books, which nowadays may be rare, but Garner says it's important and has helped set his school apart. Are you aware of your test scores?
I am.
Last year, this school, where every student lives in poverty, the 5th grade class scored higher on state testing than the Maryland average. The other grades weren't far behind.
I don't want there to be reasons why kids can't be successful, because it's too easy to say, oh, this is happening to this person, this happened last night.
It hasn't been easy.
Keep looking right here.
Not for the faces behind those test scores.
They give very big expectations, but it does pay off.
The ones who worked for it, whose short time here reminds us
Can't we work with 50? Yeah.
that an education can change a life.
The kids don't know they're in the poorest school in the state of Maryland. I mean that's out of their control. And we love our kids. I mean, we have the best kids.
Wow. Well, there are about 1,500 schools in Maryland. 2 have 100% poverty, and both are in Hagerstown. Salem Avenue is the larger of the 2.